we're gonna sit around and chat for a little while. But before we do, I want to go ahead and take a minute just to show you what map is. So we're gonna take a minute and just watch the trailer. So that's Map by Pipapo Studios, and we're going to be joined by Annika and Laura from that studio here in just a little while. If you notice in the trailer, there is Twitch integration. We, depending on time, we will try to play around with that. I haven't tested that yet, so I don't know exactly how it works or if it's available in the demo. We'll find that out a little while later. And again, during this time, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in chat. Back. Pull the Discord. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. It's so great to finally meet you guys. Hello. I'm Stan.
I'm Annika.
Annika.
Laura.
It's so good to see you guys. So we're live. We're about to check out map. I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can see.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Just let me know if
Yay.
you guys have any issues seeing this.
No, that's perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So if you could just a brief introduction, tell everyone who you are, what you do for the team. Annika, we can start with you.
Yeah, sure. I'm one of the co-founders of the studio behind MapMap, and I'm also the programmer of the team. So we're a team of 4, so rather small. And I do all the programming and some UX stuff, and yeah, wearing many hats, basically.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And what about you, Laura?
Yeah, so I'm Laura. I'm also one of the co-founders, and I'm responsible for everything that's 2D art related, so concept art, illustration, also UI, graphics and stuff. Yeah, also wearing many hats.
Yeah, well, I can imagine you guys all wear a lot of hats with it just being a 4-person team. That's impressive.
Well, I guess you can, you kind of have to.
Yeah, you kind of
That's
really
kind of
do.
part of being an indie team, and it also has its upsides because you get to do a lot of different things and aren't like stuck on one thing the whole time.
Yeah,
So I can kind of switch between what I do depending on my mood a little bit.
yeah, a little bit of freedom there.
Yeah, I think it's really practical as well. If you're stuck with one task, you can just move on to something else because there's usually also a bunch of other things to do simultaneously.
Yeah,
And yeah.
that's really cool. So I haven't played this at all. I mean, I've done like the first 5 minutes just to make sure it works. So I'm very excited to jump in. I did notice that there is Twitch integration. Now, is that available in the demo?
It should, yeah.
Should,
It,
okay.
it should work. I'm not an expert on how to get it to work, but
Okay.
in theory it should be working, and then the chat would be able to guess as well and kind of give their own guesses.
Interesting. Okay, I wanna maybe check that out if time allows. Towards the end, but I guess we're just gonna jump right on into
Oh,
things.
also, I
No,
mean,
go
you
ahead.
pressed play already, but you can also press on the map in the main menu, and then you can play around with the marker thing.
Oh my god, can you really?
So maybe for another time. That's
Okay,
fine.
we'll check that out. Yeah.
A little Easter egg to explore if you end up starting the game again.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Yeah. So I have a question from chat, if you don't mind. This is from Cheesy. He says, "What was the inspiration behind the game?"
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, well, basically we love maps, so it kind of led to Map. We were brainstorming for quite a long time to figure out what our well, this is our first commercial game as a studio, so what that game would be, and cartography and maps kind of kept coming up, because we always loved using maps in games, but there wasn't really a game that focused on using maps. So
Sure.
you always just end up using the map to kind of follow your quest markers on the screen, and you don't really kind of interact with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so we started brainstorming around what kind of game we could make just centered around maps, and that's how Map came to be.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was playing it last night, and it kind of gave me like almost like GeoGuessr vibes in a sense.
Yeah, we actually played GeoGuessr quite frequently in the
Okay.
team as
Okay.
well.
Yeah. Okay. Close.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I love that the characters don't have like voice acting, but they just say map all the time. I think that's
Yeah.
the cutest thing in the world.
I don't remember who came up with that, but we've gotten very positive feedback to like for that ever since. And also, fun fact: the characters are actually spoken by people from our team. So the map is actually,
Oh my god.
well, kind of voice acted, I
I
guess.
love it. That's so cool. Looking for a pile of stones. Okay. A position. Oh, that's helpful. Okay.
Especially on a round island.
Yeah, okay, interesting. So we're like right here. Yeah, all right.
That's spot on.
Perfect.
Spot on.
Good
That's right on
job.
top.
Would you say you're usually a skip all dialogues person, or do you like to read like each line?
I do. Depends on the game. So I do normally like
Okay,
to
okay.
read all the dialogue. Just because we're in a call, I don't want to. I don't want to be rude and talk over anyone. So I'm just kind of reading to myself.
Yeah, sure.
Now, are there, secret things that we could hide or we could find during this adventure?
Well, there are treasures you can dig up.
Oh,
I think not on this island yet, because there is a little bit of an introduction on how like, into how that works.
okay.
But there are several secret treasures and like optional puzzles you can solve to find them. Like
Yeah, it's
later on in the
gonna
demo.
come up on the later islands.
Okay. Now you mentioned puzzles. Is this technically a puzzle game? Would you consider?
It is technically a puzzle game, which is kind of
Love
funny
that.
because when we came up with the idea, we didn't really consider it a puzzle game, but in its essence is like a big, like it's basically just a puzzle game with like additional stuff around it, because the island is kind of the puzzle, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Because you have to figure out where things are and how to orientate yourself.
Okay. So now we have a step counter. Okay, and a way to measure. Okay, that's useful.
There's one very fun little detail when step counting that I don't think many people notice when playing, because it's very subtle, but it's just something that we really liked, so we included it.
Okay.
If you look at the animation when the character is step counting, you can actually see the character counting with her fingers.
Oh my gosh, she does. Oh, how cool! I definitely
Like
didn't
it's
notice
so
that.
subtle, and like you wouldn't really notice this unless you knew, but I really like this detail.
That's a cool detail. I like that so much. I like that. That's. I'm gonna be looking at that every time I count my steps. All right, where are we going? More rocks. I guess now we can count. Let's see. 10, 15 to the beach. Oh, and that's accurate too. Okay. So then. So it's about 10 steps. So here. Okay.
Nice job.
That's actually so accurate. Holy.
Yeah, really well done.
So right now, MapMap has a demo. Do we know roughly when it's going to be out for the public?
We do, roughly. We are aiming for like spring, early summer next year.
Okay.
So second quarter basically. Nothing more accurate or more specific than that, but
Sure.
something to kind of yeah, have a general idea.
Yeah, something to look forward to. So next
Yeah.
summer maybe. So we have another question from chat. They ask, this is from Kurai, how long has the game been in production for?
Well, you have to. Well, I think the idea came to be like 2.5 years ago, and then actually starting like the first prototypes and kind of rough versions, that was probably like 2 years ago, I'd say.
Okay, so about 2 years to develop. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a little slanted there, but it'll work, I guess.
Well, still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like actually, the picnic table does, like if you are further off from the location,
Mm.
the items on the table will kind of like fall around and like come down messy and so on. But there is also quite some fun implications with that when you kind of drop it on top of a rock or a tree or something, because the table will go flying.
Oh my gosh.
You're doing really good.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta
I mean,
say,
it's gonna get a little bit harder, but still, you're doing pretty good also, like compared to other people we've seen play.
it's. I don't know if I'm not a very good gamer, so I'm pretty standard when it comes to video games. But the tools that are available make it very intuitive. It makes sense. I don't feel like it's difficult to understand right now, which is it's really well designed. Now, what would you say like the most enjoyable thing has been so far during this development process?
That's a good question.
I'm thinking as well. I think for me, a really nice part is when we are actually going to real life events like conventions and stuff, and we can watch different people play our demo or yeah, just interact with us and the game, and it's just very rewarding for me personally. I think that's definitely one of my highlights.
Yeah, I agree. And also just getting the feedback from players, because when you are making the game and you already know how everything works, it's kind of hard to tell how it will be received and how enjoyable it actually is. We kind of, when you know each solution, you kind of lose sight, or it's not as easy to imagine what it's like actually playing it for the first time.
Yeah.
So having people like come up to us and actually tell us they enjoyed it was a bit mind blowing in the beginning, actually.
I bet, yeah. Now you mentioned convention. You guys just got back from one of the conventions recently, didn't you?
Yeah, we've been to plenty this year.
That's so
At
cool.
least it feels like it. We've been at Gamescom in Germany this
Okay.
year, which is like the biggest one, I'd say.
That's huge, yeah.
And then also like like 2 or 3-ish weeks ago, there was a smaller one in our hometown actually. Um, So yeah, we always really like attending conventions because we get to get in touch with players and people that like games in general.
Yeah, that's gotta be like one of the coolest things about going to convention is not just seeing people who love the game, but also interacting with just other gamers.
Yeah, for sure. And also, it's the most valuable feedback you can get because, of course, we can show our friends and family, but they'll always be more positively inclined, I'd say.
Yeah, they're
So having
biased.
some people that, yeah, that are less biased actually give us some feedback is always a lot more useful, I'd say.
What's also really fun about going to conventions is that you get to know other developers
Yeah,
over the
Yeah,
time,
true.
and then after a while, you also meet a lot of people again and again, and then you're like, oh, you're here as well.
yeah, you get to make those connections and those friends. It's really cool. Oh, there's so much more on this island. It's crazy. I gotta say, the movement is really fluid. Like, it feels so good just kind of run around and jump on things.
I'm really glad. We put a lot of work into that because it wasn't always like that.
Oh,
But
yeah? Was it a little
we had
janky at the
some,
beginning there?
yeah, we had some very choppy placeholder animations for a long time, and we were very happy when we actually got to hire an animator that made like custom and nice animations for the character.
Yeah.
Changed the game a lot.
Yeah, I imagine through the process, there's a lot of different iterations of the game. Do you guys document any of that anywhere that people can, like, see the process or?
We try to, but we're a bit unorganized.
Sure, gotcha.
So we do like give monthly updates on our Discord server, so we actually are able to show like a little bit of the progress we make. But even within the team, we're pretty bad at posting. Oh wow, that's a very helpful view.
Yeah.
um, Even within the team, we're a bit chaotic with like posting some work in progress things and so on. So we always try to do better, but um, we are not really. We haven't been able to perfect kind of collecting it in some place where you can actually like have some sort of overview. But we've tried to. We have some footage of earlier versions and so on. It's just somewhere in the folders. So.
Hmm.
Yeah, at least for me, like keeping track of like progress shots and also stuff to post on social media. I think it feels like a different category of work aside from development, and it's kind of sometimes it gets a little hard to keep track of both, especially when we are like busy with development and stuff. But we're trying our best.
Yeah, I could imagine. You mentioned a Discord. Where can people find your Discord?
I think the easiest, well, it should be
It
linked
is
on our
linked on
Steam
Steam.
page.
Oh, it's on
Yeah,
Steam.
that's
Okay.
probably the easiest one.
Okay.
We try to link it in a bunch of other places, but whenever you stumble across our socials, basically, you should be able to find your way to the Discord server somehow. And if you don't, let us know because then we didn't really do a good job.
Gotcha.
Um, but we do host weekly GeoGuessr challenges on the Discord, so there will be
Okay.
a new one posted each week, and
That sounds
we
fun.
share our scores and try to see how good everyone does. And I was very proud because in this week's challenge, I had a better score than Laura and Lucas, who usually
Okay.
score like highest or one of the highest, and I've never been able to be better than both of them. So occasionally I might top one of them by a few points, but not usually. So I was very proud of myself.
Sounds fun. And
But
that's a
then I
community
also
thing.
would say we're not, me and Lucas, we are also not the best at
There are
GeoGuessr
better
because
people in our
there are
community
some
for
people
sure.
that keep beating us a bunch of
Yes.
times, and I'm always like, oh, I have to beat them now as well, but then I can't do it. And I mean, yeah, maybe it will get better.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Community GeoGuessr sounds fantastic. Oh, okay.
Ooh, you found the first treasure map.
Also, if it is any help to you, if you open the map on the left-hand side, you have a bunch of different pens and an eraser, and you can use them to draw on the map.
I didn't notice that. Okay.
And on the right, you also have stickers that you can put on there
Oh, how cute.
if you want.
Okay. Oh, and you can resize them. That's cute. Okay, interesting. So it's on that little bump there. Let's see. Oh, it's over here. Okay. Something. Oh, there it is.
Well done.
Okay. So how long would you say the demo actually is for like a standard playthrough?
For a standard playthrough, probably like 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Depends on how much time you take for each of the puzzles, but
Okay.
it's not super long.
So it respects
But
everyone's
we have
time
had
well.
people play like 2 hours. Those are rare, but there are people that want to just perfect their score and get
Sure.
as close as possible and play it again.
Yeah, understandable. Now, do you guys have like a so you mentioned perfecting the scores? Do you have like a competitive side of your community?
I think we have a perfectionist part of the community.
Gotcha.
Does that work? Word exists? Yeah, it does. I think. Um, so people that are just have the kind of expectation of themselves to be as good as possible.
Sure.
I think we could probably foster the competitive side more. I think there would definitely be a part of the community that really enjoys that. So we are definitely keeping that kind of in the back of our heads and open to build on that. But right now we don't really have any like mechanics or anything where you can actually compare yourself to
Sure.
others, except for like just taking the scores and showing other people how well you did in a certain mission. But I think it's mostly people actually wanting to get it right.
Gotcha. So we have another question from chat. This is again from Karai. So Karai, just for some background for him, he loves map games. So this is like already right up his alley.
Awesome.
And he's drooling right now because he's literally saying how excited he is. He wants to know how much content is planned for the game. Is there anything that you can tell us that's not in the demo that that you can tell us that's coming in the future?
Oh yeah, for sure. We have a lot of tools coming up that you will be able to unlock in the final game. So you'll have additional tools on the map to kind of be able to raise distances better and kind of I forgot all my words, but yeah, so some more map tools, and also some more tools for measuring distances. So you'll have a telescope later on that actually allows you to kind of measure your line of sight.
Oh, okay.
So you won't have to walk all the way. And then later on, there will be kind of the upgrade from that, where you can factor in the height difference, so the slopes,
Oh,
because usually if you measure like in a non-horizontal straight line, you'll get some like slight offset as well.
mhm.
And there will be a lot of more treasures, a lot of new types of puzzles, a different biome, at least one more. I think. Oh no, I think at least two more. And if our artist gets too bored, we might be able to add more. um, but two more biomes, and I think playtime we aim for is around 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
So not entirely sure like how that plays out in the end because we haven't been like playing like the levels aren't finalized yet, so we're still
Sure.
working on that actively. But that's kind of our goal.
Yeah, sounds like it's gonna be packed with a bunch of content. Now you mentioned an upgrade. Now, are there actual like upgrades, like in the sense where you unlock improved tools, like a telescope, you unlock telescope version 2 kind of thing, or
I think it's just for the telescope.
okay,
So the I'm not sure if what it's called in English. Um, but it's like a cartography tool basically that you would have used on ships back in the day to kind
okay,
of calculate and
I think
triangulate
it's called a
distance.
sextant. I'll have to
a sextant.
look it up again.
Okay,
Yeah. So I think that's the only one that will actually, because it will replace the telescope as soon as you've discovered that. But the other tools will be just additional tools. So you won't lose any of them.
okay.
Um, yeah.
I just looked it up, so in English it's supposed to be sextant as well.
Okay, great.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm still a little bit. I mean, I'm not the game designer. I'm not the person that decided on all the tools, but I'm
Sure.
still kind of struggling with all the naming sometimes, especially in another language.
Now, just out of curiosity, I'm a big fan of multiplayer games. Will there ever be like a multiplayer, like even like a co-op for this in the future?
We can't really make any promises on
That
that.
makes
I
sense.
think um, don't get your hopes up because it would take a lot of time of
Sure.
development, and
Absolutely.
we don't want to push development back. So I guess I think the most likely way that would happen would be when one of us gets like really excited about multiplayer
Right,
options
right.
in games and just has like that drive to do it. But most likely we won't be able to fit it in.
That makes sense.
But I definitely we might be able to add something like a scoreboard or something where you can at least compare yourself with your friends and
That would be
kind of
really
have
cool.
yeah. So that's something
So like more of
that's
a
much more
community
likely
sharing
than
Yeah.
thing.
yeah than an actual like multiplayer co-op thing. But you're not the first person to suggest it for sure.
Yeah, I could imagine like a co-op being nice and really cozy, but also I can't imagine like the dev time you'd have to put into that. I can't imagine
It
how
would be
difficult.
a lot of work to get it working just right, but
Yeah.
yeah.
We have another question from the chat. This is from Born to Grind, otherwise known as B2G. She says, "It seems you have an order in which tools come out. Would you consider a randomized mode for tools? Could add another layer of difficulty."
I think well, I might not be the perfect person to answer this because I'm not the game designer, but hearing in my head what our game designer would say, I think it would be kind of hard to get this working because the islands are specifically designed for the tools. So you would have difficulty solving some of them, I think,
Mm-hmm.
with or without certain tools.
Gotcha.
Um, I know that our game designer has kind of played around with like a challenge mode kind of thing. I'm not sure if that will actually make it into the final game, but where you can actually choose which tools you want to play with, and
Oh,
then you kind of create a challenge that can share between friends, I
that'd be
think.
really cool. Yeah.
But we did that in like we have a 1 week a year where we go basically on vacation together, like with the whole team.
That's cool.
And we have 1 week where we share like one house, and then we kind of get to work on whatever feature we want to work on, no matter how important or relevant it is at that point. So we kind of get to ignore what's actually supposed to be up next or what like priorities on tasks and so on, and just work on what we like to. And that's the week where he kind of built that challenge mode. So we'll see if it gets like fleshed out and into the game in the end, but probably if it does, more in like a later update or something like that, not with the release because we're already trying to get our timing just right.
Sure. Yeah, that's understandable. Now, would you ever? So going back to just like sharing things with friends, you mentioned sharing challenges with friends. Are you guys considering like a map editor that people could share with friends?
I think that would be awesome personally, but also a lot of work again.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I really like that idea. But I wouldn't be able to tell like how much effort and time that would take on our end.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't think that will be possible to add like for our small team in the end. But
Sure.
I really like the idea. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. And what was the inspiration behind making these all like raven statues in like a raven community?
There is actually like a full-on lore behind all the islands and all the statues you
Oh,
can find. So there are well, never narrative designer slash 3D environment artist slash project manager has put a lot of time into figuring out why this world is the way it is,
okay.
which you most of it you won't really like experience in a direct way, I'd say. So rather via like environmental storytelling and so on. So
Okay.
through the statues that you've discovered, for example. But the main kind of plot, I'd say, that's behind that is like a raven civilization that has lived on these islands before and has long vanished. And they left behind a lot of like ruins and statues and artifacts that you now get to explore.
I'm a big fan of like environmental storytelling when it comes to like discovering the lore. I like the story to be like open to interpretation. So games like Journey or Abzu. So are we gonna have like any like actual lore bits that we'll be able to uncover, like any like hidden, like scrolls or books or anything?
I think not probably not necessarily scrolls or books, but there will be just I think some like paintings and stuff in ruins and some objects that are tied to the Raven civilization.
Okay.
And also, I think Laura spent a lot of time concepting what the buildings of those ravens looked like when the civilization was actually alive.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
the
that was
ruins
really
have to,
fun.
yeah,
So there will be old city plans on some islands where you can orientate yourself on how the old buildings used to look and what their purpose was. So yeah, as Annika said, there will not be any like, for example, lore books that you will find lying around or something like that, but you will at least have some kind of visual reference how stuff used to look.
Okay. So it really just is environmental storytelling, and it's open to
yeah,
interpretation. I love it. That's
yeah,
so cool. That's at least in my opinion, some of the coolest storytelling you can do in a game.
I agree.
Oh, and also about the Raven civilization bit that you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as I know, one of the main reasons that we picked ravens as the old civilization was, I mean, for one part, ravens are just super cool.
True.
And also, birds have this kind of orientation thing, especially when they migrate to the south and back and stuff like that. They have like an inner compass um, that, yeah, makes them not lose their way, and that was also a nice thing that, yeah, our narrative designer thought was really nice. So yeah.
Yeah, birds are very smart, so that makes sense.
We've also noticed that it's really hard to get the mission, like the directions or your task, worded just right.
What do you mean?
Which we failed with that a lot in the beginning because something that we wrote that made a lot of sense to us didn't make a lot of sense to quite a few players, because when you write the objective and you already know the answer, it's quite easy to get or lose sight of what you assume just because you already know the answer,
Mm-hmm.
and what people might think that don't know the answer. So it's still not perfect, especially on this island. There's still some things we need to improve, but um, yeah, it's a lot harder than we thought, at least in the beginning, to kind of make it easy enough to understand what's actually like what location we actually mean
Hmm.
on the island.
Okay, not bad.
That was pretty good, actually. I really love how you approach that puzzle. It's always really cool to see how everyone has their own solution to the same problem.
Yeah.
Because it's there have been a lot of moments during playtesting as well where people just solve something in a completely different way, and we would have never thought of it actually. We're like, oh, that's actually really smart how you did that.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
something
also a
about
really cool thing I think about the game and about the puzzles, because you really can approach it in any way you like and you can still get the right answer.
yeah, that's something I really like about puzzle games and just watching people play puzzle games, especially when you've solved it, and just watching people solve it something completely different that you didn't even think of. I love that in puzzle games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it when some people kind of get out their either measuring tapes or pieces of paper or use their fingers to try and
That's
measure things
awesome.
on
Yeah. We've
screen.
had people with actual like rulers put on the screen so they can figure out how far exactly this is. That's awesome.
Yeah, especially
Also
when you're
people,
measuring diagonally, because you can do
yeah,
that. Not yet,
yeah.
at least.
It's so fun. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Also, we had, I think, one person at least that before you actually unlock the step counting thing, that already tried to use the normal walk animation and count kind of the walk cycles to
Oh, okay.
kind of estimate how far the character is moving. That was also really cool.
That's clever.
I wonder if there will be in the future some kind of maniac who tries to do the whole game without any tools.
Oh
Probably. I
gosh,
hope so,
probably.
because that would be awesome.
That'd be so cool. I can already tell there's gonna be people who are gonna be speedrunning the game. I'm not sure if you're familiar with speedrunners, but this already like scratches a speedrunner itch in me.
I mean, if anyone wants to do that, they're very welcome to do so. So, yeah, we're excited to see that.
Pretty cool. Now, just looking at the game objectively, like as somebody who likes video games, what would you say is your favorite feature of the game? Like, what's something that you just absolutely love that's in this game?
That's kind of hard, actually. Um,
It's hard to do. I imagine it's hard to do it like unbiased, considering it's something that you're working on.
For sure. But also, I do have a favorite visual aspect so far. There might come something else later on, but I love the bees. I'm
Oh,
just a
okay.
huge fan of the chunky bees.
These guys,
Yeah, those
oh, they
exactly.
are a
Because
little
they
chunky.
look so innocent and like maximum of one brain cell, and I love them. Like truly, I think they're awesome.
They are adorable. Holy.
I'm not sure gameplay wise. I think I do really like Island 2, especially those moments when people open the map for the first time and haven't
Oh,
discovered the
yeah,
landmark
that's
yet,
always
and
great.
just get this puzzled look on their face because they're like, "This is round. What am I supposed to be here? Like, are you kidding me?" And then they kind of find the landmark and they get this aha moment of like, "Oh, okay, I see what you did there." that's how this works. I always really like that moment. And I also think a lot of like features I really enjoy. We are actually like a lot of them we are just getting to in development right now because a lot of the polishing and like the finishing touches and so on are we're getting started on that, and that's just always really fun to get something that you've had like in a rough shape for a long time really come to life and kind of get those little details that make a lot of difference.
Yeah, I think my actual favorite feature is not in the demo yet. So
No spoilers.
uh,
I'm curious too now.
If that's not something that's in the demo, no need to spoil it. We can leave that as a surprise.
Yeah, surprise, so good.
it's very derpy looking.
Oh, okay.
I can say
That's
as
always
much.
good.
Yeah, it looks like everybody in chat says that the bees are very friend-shaped. So I'm pretty sure everyone else is
They
also a
are
fan
for
of them.
sure. There will be a few different other animals in the game as well. I'm not sure if we will be able to fit in like petting the animals because I'm personally always a big fan of being able to pet anything that is friend-shaped.
Yep.
Um, I'm not sure if we have time for that. Maybe later on, but there will at least be like more animals. There are seagulls at some points that kind of either fly over the island, but I think there's also some just chilling in the water. But we also have rabbits that you'll. Well, they will be kind of scared of you, but still.
Understandable. Now, do you know already like the kind of different kind of animals that we'll see?
I definitely know the rabbits. I think there's also deer.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think a fox as well.
Ooh, a fox, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
fox would be
that.
really cool.
Yeah, and fish. A lot of fishes.
I do love fish.
So you will be able to uncover some of the lore just through the characters that kind of travel with you.
Yeah.
Because there are some characters that are just really interested in the whole history of the islands. And your overall goal is actually to find like a hidden treasure from this civilization.
Okay.
So you'll travel and your companions will look for clues to kind of figure out where you go and what the civilization was about, and to finally find that hidden treasure in the end. But you're the cartographer of the group, so you don't really know all that much about history necessarily.
Now, are we going to see more companions later on, or are we just with Milo and Billy here?
There will be more companions as
Oh,
well,
I love
yes.
that.
Yes.
There will be, I think, 2 more
Oh,
at
okay.
least.
Um,
I'm not sure if there will be another one, but am I forgetting one,
no,
Laura?
it's
Just okay, okay.
right now there's gonna be 2 and maybe a third one will
Oh,
join as well.
Yeah,
okay.
depending on time, but 2 more, and then you'll of course learn more about those characters along the way as well, and kind of their motivations and a little bit of their backstory.
Yeah, I mean the character design is really cute. I love how Billy and Milo looks. And does our character have a name?
I mean, technically, not really.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean,
they don't have a
internally,
name in the game, yeah, but we do have
we
a
internally
name
do
for
have
them.
a name.
Okay. Okay.
So our the name we gave the character in the team is maps.
Maps. Okay,
because it's a game about
that makes sense.
Yeah, a game about maps, so obviously the character has to be maps, right?
Yeah,
But they don't have an official name in the game, so
I like it.
also our cartographer is technically as well designed to be kind of working with all pronouns. So I am at the moment using she/her pronouns for her, but I mean, other ones are working as well.
What do you mean? That's the end of the demo. I want more.
that's good.
Oh man, this
You
was so
will
much
get
fun.
more. You just have to have a little bit more patience.
Yeah. Oh, this
But
was.
I'm really glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was genuinely super enjoyable. Oh man. Yeah, wishlist that on Steam. There's a link to their Discord. Fantastic. Cool. Well, while we have a little more time, then let me reboot it up and go to the main menu. I want to see
Oh
if we
yeah.
can take a look at what you mentioned, and also maybe try out the Twitch integration. Maybe see if that works. Oh, oh! How neat is that? Okay.
Just a fun little thing that
Yeah.
I think our two other co-founders came up with in between. We're like, we have to make the menu fun. Let's put like basically the core of the game into the menu.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. That's super cute. That's fun. I like that. Okay, so let's check out, I guess, the Twitch integration. Let's see.
I think you might have to connect it to your Twitch account as well.
Yeah, should be connected. Should be good there.
Okay, great.
Okay, so...
Ooh,
Okay,
that
so...
looks different for sure. That's good.
Okay, so they do just exclamation mark guess, and then like a coordinate on the map?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Alright, y'all. Let's see if y'all can guess where this pin goes. So it says mark the tree on your map. So you'll do exclamation mark guess, and then some kind of a coordinate. See if we have any cartographers in chat. Karai, I know this is like right up your alley. Can I see around again? Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to that tree right there. Cheesy's out. You're a little in the ocean there, Cheesy. Speed, okay. Okay. Got some guesses. Jimmy's also hanging out with the sharks. Love it.
I think you should be able to re-enter a guess as well, even if you've already entered one. So you might be able to correct your ocean guesses.
Yep, looks like it. Looks like Speed just did it. So yeah, looks like you can do that. Wrote it backwards. Ah, gotcha. She's still kind of swimming a little bit. Show you the island one more time. Give you a couple more seconds. Get your guesses in. Cheesy, Jimmy, you wanna get out of the ocean there, or you comfortable swimming with the fish? Oh, there we go. Jeez. Alright, let's see where it's at. Let's go where D King is. Alright. Looks like Speed was the closest. I like that there's a scoreboard here. That's That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Well, you have to be able to tell like how good you did in comparison to
Yeah.
your chat.
I love that. All right, let's do another one. Let's do another one. All right, so you have a little bit of a guide this time. You have this little marker. We're trying to get to the little stone rocks right here. So here's the island. It's a big old circle. You're trying to get to those rocks. Good luck. This time I'll try. Okay, thank you. Are the characters speaking in map? Yes. So actually, that's a good question. Is there a regional dialect name for how they're speaking?
Maybe we should add that for sure.
Yeah, I think
I
so
mean,
as
the
well.
language is the same. The language is mapped. I think that you know that quite quickly. But
Okay, we got a lot of guesses. I'm gonna put mine in. Good luck.
oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's hard to beat.
Okay, we're
I mean, you got the perfect score for the second time in a row, so that's pretty impressive.
we do a little gaming around here. Oop, okay. Speed just off by a little bit.
But everyone
That's
did
pretty
really
close,
well.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
close. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's try it again. So, what was the thought process behind this Twitch integration?
I think our game designer just randomly came up with it and said, like,
Okay.
wouldn't it be fun if streamers could actually like play with their chat, and if people wouldn't be able to just watch and think, oh no, he did it all wrong, but be able to do it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we added it before we released the demo actually, and a few people have used it as well. So I think generally, I mean, it's not something like extremely mind-blowing kind of Twitch integration feature, but we still think it's a nice addition to kind of include your chat in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Props to your game designer. 'Cause this is genuinely really cool.
I let him know.
All right, we're going to these rocks. Here's the island. Sure. Walk around a little bit. You have a pointer reference right here. We'll walk over to it. This one might be a little more difficult.
Well, you might have to do some step counting to help
Yeah.
your chat out.
Start from here. You know exactly where it is. You're locking it in. All right, final answer. All right. All right. Good luck. Ready? We got some cartographers in chat today. All right.
I think I also see a familiar cartographer.
Yeah.
There might or may not be another one of our team in chat.
Oh.
busted. Yeah.
Who is it?
Clarissimo is
Oh,
our narrative designer, actually.
hello,
And
Curcio.
Clara, so
Clara.
she's also responsible for all the environment you see.
Oh, love
And
that.
also for production management.
And also keeping tabs on
So,
us and making sure we do our tasks.
yes.
Gotta have somebody to do that.
Very important team member for sure.
All right, let's see where this is. Ooh, it was a bit off.
Wow.
Oh, Karai
There's a
also
tie.
with Clara.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, Karai is that he, like I mentioned, he's big into maps, so this is right up his
Yeah,
alley.
okay, yeah.
Okay. And I think we have time for one more, which is the flowers. Perfect. Got time for one more. So here's the flowers. Just for reference. Do a bit of a step counter for you. Alright, good luck.
That's also really fun. Every time we go to conventions, there's always those people who are like, oh, I have such a bad sense of direction. I don't know, I think I will be very far off, but usually they all do better than they thought initially, so that's always, it's really nice to see.
Yeah, I was a little nervous getting into it myself. I have a good sense of direction, but like plotting stuff on maps is like something entirely different. So I was a little nervous getting into it, but you guys make it really intuitive. It's not as intimidating once you're actually into it.
Yeah, I think actually some of the best results came from people who were very, like, not confident before starting the game,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's always nice to see that that actually doesn't necessarily mean that they won't do, like, or won't be accurate with their guesses.
yeah. All right.
So, yeah, trust your sense of direction, people.
For sure, trust yourself. Don't doubt yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh man,
Whoa, okay.
Yeet.
Awesome. I think that
love
might have
it.
dropped like right on your head as well.
Oh, you know it might have. Yeah, you're
So
right.
you, yeah, might have.
Oh, I just skipped through it. I
Well,
didn't
at
even look
least
at the
we saw
scoreboard.
the flying table once.
That was great. Well, all right. I think that's unfortunate. That's all we have time for. This was fantastic. This was so much fun. I cannot wait for the full release. Do you have any final words? Where can people find you guys?
You can find us everywhere, basically. You'll find us on Steam and on basically any social media platform that you use. Um, and we're just really happy to be here and to have been invited to this. I think it's an awesome initiative. And yeah, so wishlist the game if you liked it, play the demo for yourself and do it better if you like.
Yeah.
And we're always happy to see new faces join our Discord server and beat us in GeoGuessr.
Yeah, I will be in there because that sounds like a lot of fun.
For sure.
Well, Laura, Annika, thank you guys so much for being here. It means a lot that you guys even came in and hung out with me. We're gonna go ahead and drop out of here. But again, thanks so much. Guys, be sure to wishlist Map on Steam. There is a demo. There's a link to the Discord as well on the Steam page. And check out their Blue Sky profile as well. Be sure to give them a follow.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us. And
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Enjoy the rest of your day and of the stream.
Thank you. You all too. Have a great day. Thanks again for coming.
For sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
That was awesome. Holy crap. Map's really cool. Oh my gosh. Uh, I expected to like the game when I played it. I did not expect myself to like the game so much. The Twitch integration is so cool, especially for like a demo. Having that just in the demo is so neat. Would not have expected that. Like when I saw it the other day, I was like, wow, they have Twitch integration. It may not work because it's a demo. Maybe it's just they're showing it's coming, but it works, and it's so good. It works so well. The game is really good. Oh my gosh. Not sponsored. Go try the demo. Go wishlist it. Go follow them on Blue Sky. Because holy crap. Good fun game. Oh boy, oh boy. Cats. Yep. We have both of them. Yep. So we have Daxter, who's my little guy, has no thoughts behind those eyes. Oh, we have an ad. Why is there an ad every time I start talking? And then Gibbles. Oh, these ads. Oh, these darn ads. Alright, y'all just let me know once you're back. That was. I have no words. Just let me know when we're back, and we'll talk more about that. Because I have words and I have thoughts. We're back. Okay, fantastic. So just to reiterate, Daxter, Gibbles, not technical brothers, but they love each other enough. Map, everybody. That was. I have no words. I genuinely don't. Uh, that was worth the wait. I saw Map during. Oh gosh, it was one of the indie game festivals, maybe earlier this year or something. I don't know. And I instantly was like, yeah, I want to try that out. That looks fantastic. When I started working on an Indie Impact, I was like, Map, it's going right on the schedule. It just looks fun. But now, it was a good game. That is going to be like an instant buy for me once that comes out. And the Twitch integration is so cool. Hello, Mala. So sorry I wasn't able to keep up in chat. Again, I wanted to be respectful to Annika and Laura, but thank you guys for being here to watch that, interacting, and thank you for your questions. It was so great to see everyone interacting and everything, and thanks for joining on the Twitch integration as well. That was it was really cool to see.